When the Cardfight Vanguard Shin prequel started, I think we all kind of had the same idea of what we wanted it to be about. We wanted it to be a story about grief, about loss, about how we get over it, about how we try to help the loved ones we still have left, about what it means to recover when you've lost everything. And for the most part, the first half of the story, though a bit rocky at times, stuck with it and delivered an overall very good interpretation of this kind of story. So because of this, when we saw that the second half of the Shin prequel would be focusing on more lore and supernatural, the alien Gear Chronicle crap, I think we all just wrote it off as, well, it was fun while it lasted, time to just sort of go back to status quo crap. But it appears that the people working on Cardfight Vanguard planned this out a bit better than that. It would appear that they decided, no, that theme would evolve and continue. That idea of loss and how we get over that would be the central focus of this whole thing. And if, depending on where the next season goes, maybe still continues. What I'm talking about is that essentially we have 3 to 4, depending on how you look at the fourth one, characters who everything their motivation is based on dealing with a loss. First, we have Shin, who has been the focus of the whole thing. We saw that the entire first arc was based around his desire to help his niece, his desire to protect Misaki, and to also deal with his own feelings of grief and to be able to move on and help her recover. And we saw that he did about as good a job as he could have and has somehow been able to live a stable life. Then we introduced 2 more characters who have to deal with grief. First we have Rive, who might be the most realistically tragic of all of them. This is a guy who was on the fast track to a good career as a Vanguard fighter. He was talented, everyone liked him, everyone respected him. But he gave that up. He decided he wanted to settle down with his woman. I mean, come on. We all secretly want to settle down with a redhead. Am I right, men? He wants to settle down with his woman, start a family, and he threw everything away. He threw away that promising career in Vanguard. He gave up one of his most important friendships. All of that just to be with that woman. And they had a cute little baby together, and then she was taken from him. Just the cold reality was that she was lost. And what I like is that, because my assumption going into this was that she was going to die with Tatsuya's parents. She would die in the explosion. But no, she just died because unfortunately life is cruel like that. And now Rive has to take care of this child on his own, and all that stuff that he gave up is still gone. And all he really has left is Ryuzu and his ideas and all that stuff. And so he is also kind of lost, just trying to find something to hold on to. Then we get to our surprise main antagonist of this final part of the Shin prequel, and I'm shockingly happy about this, Tatsuya. Tatsuya entered this whole prequel, and what was so genius about this was that he never felt like he was being set up for the villain. Never in a million years did I think that he would be the big boss of the final battle of the arc. My genuine belief was Tatsuya was just going to be the best friend. And when the prequel was over, he would just disappear like nothing happened. And, I mean, to be fair, that is what normally happens to characters like this in these sorts of shows. But no, Tatsuya was probably destined to have that fate. He probably would have just been a normal kid who liked Vanguard and played his Weird Angels deck. But no, just cruel reality just came in and just took his parents from him, and all his life has been about since then is dealing with that pain and dealing with that tragedy. And like Shin, his solution is to try and fix it. His solution is try and come up with a way to deal with it. But because he doesn't have a Misaki, because he doesn't have a Chrono, he doesn't really have anyone to turn to. He doesn't have someone who then forces him to have to try and be the bigger man, to have to grow up, to be better. So he's just kind of turned into this angry person who just wants revenge against the world, and he's going to take it no matter how dangerous it seems, no matter how much other people are going to get hurt, no matter what it's going to lead to. This is what he's going to do. Then you have Myojin, who in the original series, if I remember correctly, lost a friend just to, like, I guess it was something like neighborhood violence or something, and that's his big motivation. But that hasn't really been explored yet, and we don't know how much of the past will be retconned later. But I assume we'll probably still stay in that theme as well. And I think by doing it this way, by having all these people who, yes, their losses wind up becoming a big part of the plot, but ultimately with each one, there is just a cruel sense of just how bad life can be. Even with Tatsuya, like when the fight started and you just see two poorly animated, clearly not enough budget to make the fight look like anything, dragons just destroying themselves in the sky, there's this weird hauntingness to it. Like this idea that here are these two creatures, they probably don't want to be where they are, they're clearly so wrapped up in each other they don't care, and it just really doesn't matter who gets hurt. Like, everyone else is inconsequential, and any sense of destruction is just like, who cares? Because remember, they're gone, and they do not give a shit. And that's weirdly very tragic. Like, just sort of that idea that the most horrible, sad thing that can happen to you was just probably Tuesday for someone else. Yes, I just quoted Street Fighter. That movie is not good, but goddamn it, that quote is genius. Anyways, so that kind of lost me, and yeah, I think it is nice that the show focuses on these tragedies. Like, they're finally using the Cray lore effectively, and Cray is this mysterious, dark, unexplainable, unimaginable thing that you should probably stay away from, because it's going to hurt you and it's going to cause problems and your life will be made worse for it. It's not this stupid planet with culture and crap, which normally is good, but they clearly don't know how to write it with that. So trying to keep it in the shadows and make it mysterious, I think, is good. Throughout the whole time Tatsuya is explaining his plan in this most recent episode, I never get the impression the show wants me to fully 100% think it will work. It's almost like everything in this is a theory, which it is, that's how science works, but everything is going off of a theory. Tatsuya doesn't know this will happen, just because, like, no one here actually knows how Cray really works. Tatsuya assumes this will happen. He assumes he can bring his new unit over, and that unit will make everything better. But we don't know that, because remember, last time we saw units on Earth, they led to all of this. Tatsuya, in a lot of ways, is kind of just continuing the cycle of destruction that led to his own parents' destruction. And it's going to lead to his as well. I like those bits where you just see him, like, in genuine pain because of what he's doing. I do remember in G, it said that doing the imagination shonen power-up crap actually is damaging to the body, and all we saw was Myojin as an old man. Well, it's fine, I guess. He looked creepy enough. Both the dub and Japanese actors, I think, did as good a job as they could with the material to make Myojin seem kind of creepy. But I think this is more effective. I think just showing someone in pain, not explaining it, no exposition, just like, this is hurting him, but he's just going to keep doing it because it's all he has to think about in life anymore. I think that is a very good theme, and I think it is very well executed, and I really like what is going on in this show. I like that it's dark. I like that it's mysterious. If I were to pick one gripe about this episode, I really hate it in card game anime when they're all like, oh my god, why did he make that decision? When they're like, why did he use that perfect card early? Because he has a fucking plan! Like, when I watch a live stream and I see someone do something weird, my first instinct is, nope, they just don't know what they're doing. They plebs, they scrubs, go away, Jude. No, I'm like, no, there's a strategy here. Shut up and let him do the strategy. Also, when he drops, like, Ryuzu's deck down the hole, a part of me likes to believe that Myojin's got that shit max rarity, like, and Tatsuya just dumped, like, what will probably be, like, $20 to $30 SVRs literally into a hole. Like, oh god, that can hurt a man's soul. But yeah, no, this is very good. This is very dramatic. It's very creative, and it's very effective, and I want it to continue. I really want to see where this story is going, and by saying removing the antagonistic role from Myojin, if only for a little bit, it's really got me curious what they'll do with him later. So yeah, in the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this episode, these past couple episodes. Do you like this dramatic storyline? Do you like the idea that they're kind of retconning Cray into something more functional, or would you have liked that they just tried to fix what they had already established? I can definitely hear the argument for both. And as for the Vanguard question of the week, so this new Angel Feather strategy, do you think it can really make the deck good? I like it, and I know Angels topped a tournament like very recently, and there's some Angel hype going around, but I feel like Protect decks sort of suffer from being a little too slow, especially in Excel meta. And I know, like, right now we're in a Bermuda format, but Excel is still very powerful, and I think really can hurt any Protect deck at this point. No offense to my Protect lovers out there. I get it. I have a Coco deck. It's a fun, but it's got some problems at the time of this recording. So tell me all your thoughts about that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week. I'll swear I'll get this out on time next week.